ॐ रामाय रामभद्राय रामचन्द्राय वेधसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीतायाः पतये नमः। कूजन्तं राम रामेति मधुरं मधुराक्षरम् आरुह्य कविताशाखां वन्दे वाल्मीकिकोकिलम्। एष सुप्तेषु जागर्ति भूतेषु परिनिष्ठितः एष चैवाग्निहोत्रं च फलं चैवाग्निहोत्रिणाम्. So in this verse we have three messages. One is eshaha bhūtēṣu pariniṣṭhitaḥ. The Paramatma, who is in the form of the sun yonder, is indeed very well established, pariniṣṭhitaḥ, in all life forms. So, you see, you have to become God conscious. That is important. Here is a question: is it necessary to use the words like God, Ishvara to be spiritual and realize? You have to use some word. You have to use. So, Upanishads use their own words. Like Taittiriya calls it Brahma, but not every Upanishad. Taittiriya calls it Brahma. Mundaka calls it Akshara, imperishable. Then Chandogya calls it Sat, the existence absolute. And different Upanishads call it differently. Some name you have to have. Ishavasya Upanishad calls it Isha, which is same as Ishvara. Okay? And Sri Krishna in Gita calls it Ishvaraha. Ishvara sarva bhūtēṣu hṛdayam tishtati. You need one word, one expression that will inspire you. You say it and get inspired. This is called shabdanuviddha dhyanam. You utter a word and that inspires you and you meditate upon that. You should be a light unto yourself. You cannot depend upon the other. Therefore, you need an expression. So you can say Shivaha, Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham. You can say Shivaha. Or you can say Saha Soham. You can say that. You need an expression. One word or a group of words. And then people are world conscious. They are constantly engaged. Not engaged, ensnared in the worldly things. Constantly. And they create enormous trouble for themselves. We have a story in the childhood, we read this story. A group of birds were flying. Birds fly in group only. Like humans live in groups, same way. And then one or two young birds noticed seeds, rice grains on the ground from above. Birds have a very sharp eyesight. They noticed it. Immediately they said, "Oh, come on, let us get down. There are grains on the ground." Then one elderly bird said, "This is forest below you. And inside the forest, how grains come? How rice, ready to cook kind of rice, how it will come in the forest? It won't come in the village it can come, but not in the forest. But it is in the forest means somebody must have come to spread them. Somebody must have put those grains there. Why anybody should put grains in the forest floor? There must be something amiss there. It is dangerous. It is unnatural and dangerous. Let us move forward." Then the young birds said, "You are always a spoil sport. You don't allow us to do anything worthwhile in this world. So it's very difficult to live with you." Then they decided to get down. They get down. Before they could get hold of one grain, they are caught in the net. Both the legs, the birds will have that nail system and all that. sharp nails, etc. It is all caught. Both the legs are caught in the net. That is how people live. So the greed, the ambition, etc. ensnares. That is the word, ensnares. That is how people get caught in this world. So how can they come out of it? They can't come out of it just by pursuing the same thought process. There is no solution for that. The only solution is you have to dismiss the world consciousness and you have to uplift yourself into God consciousness. And for that, you have to guide yourself. And an expression has the power to guide you. Only when you hear the expression and go beyond the expression into the real, which is always with you. Therefore, you do need a good word. And in English, the word God is well used. Jesus Christ used it in Bible in his Sermon on the Mount, etc. Therefore, that is a very valid word. And in Sanskrit, Ishvara, Brahman, Sat, and we use the words, I always use the word truth, Satyam, real, the real with capital R. When you use the word truth, that is God only, Satyam Brahma. So Sat is real, Satyam is truth. That is the difference between the two. Sat is real, that is Brahma. Satyam, the truth, that is Brahma. So you do need an expression to uplift your consciousness from the worldliness into God consciousness. You do need. So bhūtēṣu pariniṣṭhitaḥ, eshaha, this Ishvara, is indeed abiding in the hearts of all living beings. That first message. So here the question is, are people being excluded by tying spirituality to God, Ishvara, as these terms typically are associated with religion? This problem will always be there. Not only in modern times, these expressions are used by religionists in a very wrong way, in a very misleading way. So the other day, one big guru, gurus become big, they collect thousands of devotees, and so just you wear a particular kind of dress and speak a particular kind of language, the crowds will come running towards you. So this guru is telling people, I will now tell you the way the goddess Lakshmi will walk into your homes. That is the guru. And all the people are doing this, clapping. Is he not misleading them? Is he teaching the truth? Is he telling the truth? Obviously not. Just by chanting some mantra here and there, will Goddess Lakshmi will walk into you? What do you mean by Goddess Lakshmi walking into your home? What kind of a consciousness it is? What kind of a thought process it is? You have to work hard and make money and use it properly. Goddess Lakshmi walking into your home means what? So you don't deserve the wealth, but still it will pour into your home, and the guru has a method to teach that. Therefore, he uses the word goddess. So there is always somebody misusing these words. It is always there. And so they use, it is always there. You see, just because weeds will come, will you stop sowing the seed in the field? So these things will be there. And the religious-minded people who are given to blind beliefs, will use every single expression to their advantage. And they use every expression to mislead people. That stream is always there. If you go to Varanasi, now things must have changed. There is Ganga flowing. And you are walking on the road. This side you can see Ganga yonder. And this side you see a sewage canal flowing. Both will be there in the same Varanasi. Don't pursue that sewage canal. Better don't do that. Because you will not know where it will end. Therefore, so that is how This social life will be like that. There will be good, there will be the opposite also. And you have to pay attention to the good. And you have to cultivate the good in you. People like Bhagavan Buddha seem to convey similar message without using this language. They too have used the language. Buddha, while saying anatma, you dismiss anatma, he is pointing the finger or he is pointing towards the atma. And atma is another name to God. Some expression you need. Only he did not use the popular expressions because they are misleading. And he used his own language. So that happens with all Mahatmas. So that is clarified. So the first message is you find God in the hearts of all living beings. So this message is very important because we are looking at the rising sun, which is the altar of Ishvara. And the same Ishvara is not only in the rising sun or as the rising sun, but also in the hearts of all living beings. Bhūtēṣu pariniṣṭhitaḥ. So how he is pariniṣṭhitaḥ? Antaryami. So that is the word, the inner commander, controller. That is something one can easily appreciate. You are able to see because that inner controller, Antaryami, is in you. You are able to hear, you are able to breathe in and out, you are able to think, you are able to digest food, you are able to walk, you are able to hold on to things, and you are able to make money, you are able to spend money, you are able to enjoy pleasures, you are able to do good works. Sometimes you are able to do not so good works also. You are able to do all of that because of that inner power, the higher power abiding in your heart as Antaryami. So, esha suptēṣu, esha bhūtēṣu pariniṣṭhitaḥ. That is one important message. Then the second message is, suppose you go to sleep. Then you are not walking, you are not holding, you are not seeing, you are not hearing, you are not desiring, you are not fearing. All this worldliness has suddenly come to an end. In fact, when you sleep, the me, the thought creates a space around itself. And that space is defined as me, the me. That is the me is the space. There is a space around me. It is called mine. Me, mine. Don't you understand that simple model? And what is the origin of this space? The me and mine. Me and mine is a very limited space. And that space has its origin in the thought. And therefore, that me and mine, that space is time bound. And when you go to sleep, that thought vanishes, that space vanishes, time vanishes, and you are in touch with the timeless in sleep. And the timeless doesn't sleep. If timeless sleeps, then you will not be in touch with timeless. You are in touch with the timeless in sleep only because the timeless doesn't sleep. The real, the timeless, it doesn't sleep. It never sleeps. Sun never sets. That's why these statements that sun is Hṛdayam, Astamayam, they have to be taken with a pinch of salt. They have some meaning, obviously they have some meaning, because the sun rises in the east and sets in the west. You should not take all of that as sacrosanct, because sun never rises, neither rises nor sets. In a very transactional way, those numbers are given. So, but it should always be in your mind. Otherwise, you end up believing that sun really sets and rises and sets. I used to advise these people who make Indian almanac. Indian almanac is a record of plenty of superstitions. That is how the Indian almanac is. And that's why Jawaharlal Nehru understood it. He appointed Meghnāth Saha, the director of Indian Physical Laboratories, to prepare an authentic scientific almanac. And Meghnāth Saha and a committee under his guidance. And that committee toured the entire country and found out 26 almanacs with some structure. In India, there are 26 almanacs. Because region-wise, the almanac changes, what they call Panchangam. For example, in South India, Chaitra Padyami is the beginning of the year. But if you go to Punjab, Vaishakha Padyami is the beginning of the year. Year itself is counted from Vaishakha onwards. They call it Vaishakhi. And in South India, they count the year differently. In Tamil Nadu, it is all about Nakshatram, star. They call Janma Nakshatra. Whereas in Andhra Pradesh and Telangana, you don't hear the word Nakshatram. It is always Tithi, Janma Tithi. Therefore, there are so many variations in the almanacs, 26 of them, and they have collated all of them and came out with an almanac which is very scientific, and it is called Government Panchangam. That is the name to give into it. It is Government Almanac. It will not give you all kinds of superstitions and all that. It gives you some transactional reality situations. So I used to tell, you write on the top of the almanac, you write, sun never rises and sets, but it appears so, and the times are given based on that appearance. You have to write it like that. Otherwise, people believe, they end up believing that the sun rises and sun sets. So, I wanted to make a point, therefore I told all that story to you. Because sun never sets, we are all sleeping, sun remains shining there. Ēvāgnihōtraṃ suptēṣu jāgarti. The birds, the animals, the humans, all are sleeping. But sun is not sleeping. If sun also sleeps, they won't get up next day morning. They will perish because the earth will freeze. If the sun sleeps, earth will freeze and everything will die. Therefore, sun never sleeps. Only we people sleep. And the inner sun also doesn't sleep. So, how can you say the inner sun doesn't sleep? So, I tell you, in the waking state, there is the witness of the entire movement of thought under the sense organ functions, right? In the waking state, the movement of thought is witnessed. There is a witness, you know that. You can witness the movement of thought. The same way, you can witness the function of the eyesight. Now eyes are seeing, now eyes are closed, they are not seeing. Don't you witness it? Similarly, you can pay attention to the sounds, you can stop paying attention to the sounds. So that is the witness. Therefore, in the waking state, there is witness of the entire process of knowing. The process of knowing is mind and five sense organs. That is the mechanism of knowing. That is how the waking state is created. And there is the witness for this process of cognition. Are you following? Then in the dream state, you have the process of cognition. In the dream, the sense organs do not participate. Only mind moves and creates a dream world. And the dream person also. And you are aware of that. In the dream, you were the witness, right? Now, when there is a witness in the dream, when there is a witness in the waking state, why there will be no witness in the in the deep sleep? What will happen to the witness? Will it die or what? It is timeless. It will not die. It will be there. Therefore, there is the witness in the deep sleep state also. Ēvāgnihōtraṃ suptēṣu jāgarti. And that witness is Brahma. That is Ishvara. So, you see, what is the waking state? Waking state is you experience all things and events. That is the waking state. With the help of mind and five sense organs. And what is the dream state? You experience all things and events again, without the participation of the sense organs, entirely by the movement of the mind. Then what is the deep sleep? There is no experience of things and thoughts or events. That is the deep sleep state. Therefore, the waking experience is made possible by that inner awareness, right? The dream experience is also made possible that by that inner awareness. Okay? Same way, the sleep experience is made possible by that inner awareness. So, no, there is no experience in sleep. True. The absence of experience is also an experience. That experience is there. You say, I did not know anything in deep sleep. So you have experienced the absence of all kinds of experience. And you are the witness of that very unique experience. And therefore, the witness is there in the deep sleep also. Because the absence of experience is also an experience. Okay? So it is like you enter into a dark room and say, I see nothing. Sleep is like that. You enter into sleep and come out of sleep and say, I have not known anything. It is like saying, you enter into the dark room and come out and say, I have seen nothing. That is, therefore, because the one who witnesses the movement of thought and sense organs also witnesses the absence of that movement. You followed it? Suppose there is no witness, like an example can be given, you please think about it. A blind man, a born blind man, will not know the difference between light and darkness. Right? Now, do you know the difference between the waking state and deep sleep state or not? You know. That means you are not like a born blind man. You are present in both waking state and deep sleep state, right? As the witness of no experience. So therefore, the knower, the real knower, the witness knows that there is knowing. And the witness knows that there is no knowing. Therefore, that witness is present in the deep sleep state also. This is our argument, the Vedantins' argument. Esha suptēṣu jāgarti. There is a section in Bauddhas, not Buddha, Bauddhas, the followers of Buddha. There is always a difference between Buddha and his followers. They are not the same. Christ and his followers, they are just not the same. Sri Krishna and his followers, they are absolutely not the same. Rama and his followers, they are just not the same. That is how this world is. Shankara and his followers, the same. They have put a big statue of Shankara and doing abhisheka with milk. You see, when you make a big statue, and now you want to anoint that statue, how much milk will be needed? A lot of milk will be needed. Hundreds of liters of milk will be needed. And they get hold of all that milk and pour on that statue. And now after that, you have to clean that statue. Otherwise, flies, mosquitoes, ants, that is a tropical climate, you know. All kinds of flying insects are there. They will all go and sit on that statue. This is a common sight. They put Mahatma Gandhi's statue everywhere. And early morning when you go out to get a milk packet, you will see one crow sitting on that statue. Because crow doesn't find a place to sit, this statue provides a nice place to sit. Therefore, you put a big Shankaracharya statue and do abhishekam with milk and go away without properly cleaning, then all kinds of flies, etc., flying insects will go and sit on that statue. They are all followers of Shankara. What kind of following it is? Therefore, you don't expect the Acharya and his followers on the same level. Therefore, Buddha never said about Shunya. He did not present Shunya as the real. But the followers, some of them, they have chosen to follow the vision of void as the real. Void is the real, Shunya. How do you know Shunya is the truth? Shunya, truth means that from which the everything arises. That is the truth. Gold is the truth because all ornaments come out of the gold. Shunya is the truth because everything comes out of Shunya. How? In sleep it is Shunya. Everything comes out of that Shunya in the waking state. In the waking state everything comes out. From where it comes? Everything of the waking state, from where it comes? Whatever was there before waking state, from there it comes. And that is sleep, deep sleep. And deep sleep is Shunya. Therefore, Shunya is the origin of this universe. Void is the origin. That is how the Buddhas say. Therefore, they say that thesis is there. Therefore, we say from our side, it is not Shunya, it is the witnessing awareness which is there very much in the deep sleep state. We have to counter the Shunyavada again and again. Ēvāgnihōtraṃ suptēṣu jāgarti. Then what is this sleep state? Is it lapse of Atma? Atma is the witnessing awareness, which is the truth. Is it the lapse of truth, Atma? No. Then what kind of a lapse it is? It is the lapse of memory. Deep sleep is the lapse of memory. It is not lapse of Atma, which is the Sat. Therefore, deep sleep is not non-existence. It is only the absence of memory. It is not the absence of the real. The witness is very much there in your deep sleep. Also, people talk of deep sleep vividly. They talk, I slept like a log, did not know anything, and now I woke up after 3, 4, 5 hours of sleep. I feel very fresh, rejuvenated. Like that they talk of it. And even the medical people tell you, you have to sleep well. If you do not sleep well, because of the stress, outsiders do not create stress for you. Or planets do not create stress for you. You create stress for you. You know what is stress? I don't have a rubber band here. Suppose this is the rubber band. Suppose you assume like that. This is the rubber band. Okay? Now there is no stress in the rubber band. Now I strain it. This is called straining. When you strain the rubber band, stress will be generated in it. When you stop straining it, stress will disappear. Very simple. And you can draw a graph of also stress versus strain. And it is a straight line up to a point, and then it plateaus. All those things are there. Therefore, the Hooke's law. So, the stress is created by straining. When you strain, you create the stress. Therefore, in deep sleep, you lose all that stress because you are not straining yourself in the deep sleep. You can stop straining yourself in the waking state also. Therefore, deep sleep is not the proof of non-existence. Deep sleep is the proof of the timeless reality with which you have come into touch or with which you have come into embrace, because of which you feel very fresh next day morning. And doctors say you should have a deep sleep so that your health will be maintained well. Your BP will be good, in good form. Your BP will rise if you do not sleep well. So if you sleep well, BP will come down. This is a catch-22. You tell him that unless you sleep well, your BP will not come down. Therefore, he becomes anxious on that count and therefore fails to sleep well. You create a problem for yourself. Therefore, this is how even the medical people talk vividly about the deep sleep. Vividly they talk about the deep sleep. Therefore, you cannot talk about vividly about nothingness, about shunya. About shunya, you have to say there is nothing and keep quiet. You cannot describe it in multiple ways. Therefore, in the sleep only the memory is absent. The lapse of memory, that is the deep sleep. In fact, one Mahatma used to say, it is there in Yoga-Vasishtha. These details you find in Yoga-Vasishtha. In deep sleep, mind is not there. Memory is the mind. Another name for mind is memory. In deep sleep, there is no mind, but there is a seed mind even in deep sleep. Because when two people are sleeping, you call one person by name. One person is Rama, another person is Lakshmana. You call in whisper, hey Rama, hey Rama. Only Rama gets up. Lakshmana won't get up. That means that I am Rama, that samskara, that vasana is there in deep sleep also in a mild way, in a tiny way. Therefore, a tiny mind is present even in deep sleep. But mostly it is the lapse of memory, not the lapse of the real, the witnessing awareness. You see, the blankness of deep sleep that you experience, so it is entirely due to the lack of specific memories. That is the lapse there, not the lapse of witness. That's why the verse is saying, just like in the sun, Bhagavan is shining brilliantly, in the same way, Bhagavan is shining in your heart also, very nicely, very brilliantly, even in deep sleep. Only there are no specific memories in deep sleep. That's why you feel the blankness of the deep sleep. So, also in memory, in deep sleep, there is a general sense of well-being. That's why when you are asked to wake up from deep sleep, you don't want to come out. You come out a little, and then you say, oh, don't disturb me, shut up, like that you say, and you go back into deep sleep. Because deep sleep gives you a general sense of well-being. Being, not shunya. And not simple being, well-being. Why well-being? Because in deep sleep, you are in the embrace of the timeless reality. The moment you wake up, the thought, what is waking up? The thought begins its function. When the thought starts moving, it creates a space around itself. The space of me and mine. And in that space, there is time. Thought creates time, memory, past, future. And therefore, now you are bound by time. And so in the bondage of time, people live. Whereas in deep sleep, that thought stops moving. Therefore, that space, me and mine, is no more. Therefore, time is no more. And you are in the embrace of the timeless reality, which is Ishvara, ever shining in the heart. Therefore, when you come out of the deep sleep, you say, I had a nice deep sleep. That is what you say. You do not say, I was absent. That is not what you say. Our experience also proves that the witness is present in the deep sleep. And that witness is not the me. It is not the jiva. That witness is Ishvara. Only the experience of things was not there. The experience of thoughts was not there, that's all. But the absence of experience is also an experience. So as I told you, when you enter into the dark room, you do not see anything. So that is also a seeing. You see that you do not see anything. So you have to say, when you see something, you do not say, I am seeing, I am aware that I am seeing things. You do not say that. You simply say, I see things. And when you go into the dark room, you simply say, I do not see things. But you pay attention to the dark room experience. You do not see things, all right, but you see that you do not see. Therefore, in the dark room, you should say, I see that I am not seeing anything. That is what you are supposed to say. Deep sleep is like that. Then who is in the deep sleep? Not me, not the person, not the jiva. Then who is in the deep sleep? God is in the deep sleep. This understanding is so important. Before going to sleep, you have to tell yourself, now I am going into the embrace of Ishvara. And when you come out of sleep, you tell yourself, pratasmarame hridi samspuradatma tattvam. I am now contemplating upon that Paramatma who is shining in my heart. That is what you say in the deep sleep, when you wake up. So you have the contemplation of Ishvara before sleep. You contemplate upon Ishvara when you come out of sleep. And it amounts to contemplating upon Ishvara for the entire length of sleep. This is called pratyahara nyaya in Vyakarana's. So ach, a of the beginning, and the chi of the end, everything in between is covered. Adirantyena saheta, that is the sutra. I remember the sutra, okay? Therefore, the sleep is like that. Therefore, people are advised, you go into sleep by contemplating upon Ishvara. Generally, people go into sleep by contemplating upon the worldly things. About the stock market, about investments, about this, about that, career, progress, this. People are very worldly people. Therefore, their thoughts are always engaged by the worldly things only. Therefore, while sleeping, you think of the worldly things and sleep. And that sleep will not be a deep sleep. It will be a fitful sleep. Means a kind of disturbed sleep, not a deep sleep. And you wake up with the worldly thoughts. Generally, whatever thought you entertain before going to sleep, the same thought will appear next day morning when you wake up. Because the thought remains frozen. And the moment you wake up, whatever is frozen in the refrigerator, it will come out. Therefore, ēsha suptēṣu jāgarti. You have to pay attention to that Ishvara who is in your heart all the time, including the sleep state. You sleep, but Ishvara doesn't sleep. He keeps alive. He keeps awake. That's why you wake up alive. Okay? So, ēsha suptēṣu jāgarti bhūtēṣu pariniṣṭhitaḥ. So, two messages I told in that. Aham atma gudakesha sarva bhūtāṣaya sthitaḥ. That is what he says. Eshaha bhūtēṣu pariniṣṭhitaḥ. You see, you want to know about Sri Krishna, you ask Sri Krishna himself. Don't ask these acharyas. If you ask an acharya where is Sri Krishna, he will tell he is in Radha Kunja. That is what he will say. So what is this Radha Kunja? God knows. Whereas you ask Sri Krishna, why do you ask all these acharyas? You ask Sri Krishna, hey Sri Krishna, where are you? He says, Aham Atma Gudakesha Sarva Bhūtāṣaya Sthitaḥ. I am in the hearts of all living beings, including yours. How are you, Atma, as Atma? Very simple. You ask a Vaishnava Acharya, he will say Shri Krishna is in Radha Kunja, as the lover of Radha. That is what he will say. You see the distance between the two? What Shri Krishna are you talking about? There used to be a Mahatma. I was influenced by him, I suppose. His name is Bodhananda Saraswati. And he is no more. In my childhood, when I was in inter-college, there used to be an inter-college like that in those days. And when I was in inter-college, I met him. And I was studying Sanskrit, this and that in those days. College is the secondary, like that, life went on. And therefore, he used to say, this Sri Krishna stories, you don't go for that. And he told me, even if your guru, present guru, talks of Sri Krishna stories, you don't fall for it. And even if your father talks of Sri Krishna stories, you don't fall for it. That is what he told me. But fortunately, neither the guru nor the father ever told about the Sri Krishna stories. They told about Gita only. Therefore, what is Sri Krishna? Aham Atma Gudakesha. Gudakesha is you and me. We are the Gudakeshas. So sarva bhūtāṣayasthitaḥ. The same vision is echoed in that line. Esha suptēṣu jāgarti bhūtēṣu pariniṣṭhitaḥ. Okay? Then, suppose you are doing a ritual. What is the ritual? Ritual is the manifestation of prana shakti, the vital power. Right? And where from do you get your vital power? From food. And what is food? Canned solar energy. That is what is food. Tomato is canned solar energy, 20 calories. Banana is canned solar energy, 100 calories. Donut is canned solar energy, 400 calories. That is, everything is canned solar energy. And so you consume the canned solar energy, and that energy becomes the vital force in the body-mind, and that expresses as the performance of a ritual. Therefore, it is like the fan that is rotating in your hall is, who is rotating? Really speaking, not the fan. The nuclear power plant that is rotating. The power of the nuclear power plant is rotating here. Same way, the ritual that you are performing, you are not performing a ritual. The sun is performing the ritual. What sun? Sun has entered into you as solar energy in the form of food. Food is energy. This body is called food body, Annamaya. It is food body. And food is calories, and calories is the sunlight. Everything is sunlight. Therefore, the one who is performing the ritual is Brahma. And the offering ghee or clarified butter you offer into the fire, that is also Brahma. Because that is calories, that is Brahma. And the fire is Brahma. Brahmarpanam, Brahma havihi, Brahmagnau. The one who is offering is Brahma. Brahmana hutam. Then the result, phalaṃ, is also Brahma. Brahmaiva tena gantavyam. Brahma karma samadhina. That is what the second line. That is the third message of this verse. Two messages are over. Now we are in the third message. Therefore, karma is Ishvara. Karma phala is also Ishvara. Because it is, Ramayana is very close to Veda. Therefore, here the karma is given as an example from the Vedas. In Vedas, the most important karma, ritual, is called āvāgnihōtraṃ. Because there is a mandate of the Veda, yāvajjīvam agnihōtraṃ juhoti. You may not do every other karma again and again, but Agnihotra you have to do as long as you live. In fact, now you substitute Agnihotra with the sun worship, because sun is the Agni. So every day, morning and evening. Evening you may not be able to do it because you are in a profession and all that. Morning you should be able to do it. Make it like a coffee habit. Every coffee you have every day morning, you will have your share of the coffee, a mug of coffee. In India, the mugs are small, but in America, the mugs are big. And here they consume a lot more coffee. Even I do that when I come here. When I go back, I will revert back to that small thing. So like a coffee habit in the morning, every day morning you wake up and after bath, stand before the sun, allow the sunlight to fall upon you and chant Gayatri Mantra with love and pray to the rising sun. That is the upasana time. You do that. In doing that, you are doing as much as Agnihotra karma enjoined by the Shruti. Okay? And then, you see, when you do karma, you should not worry about the phalam. If you are doing karma for the sake of phalam, you are a samsari. And you are caught in the net. I told you the example, always remember that example. The birds and the grain in the forest is samsara. Grain is the phala. And so you are in the lofty state of flying in the sky. So you give it up and come down for the sake of grains and get ensnared in the net. And the net is Indrajala, it is. Indra is Ishvara. The net of Ishvara. The Ishvara has put a net and you fall into that net. Indrajala. Therefore, don't do that mistake. So, be satisfied with the karma. Ishvara is in the form of karma. As you are performing that as karma, Agnihotra, all that power behind that performance is indeed Ishvara only, not you. Therefore, it is the negation of the me, the doer. It is not negation of the karma itself. It is a nitya karma. It should be there. Even sannyasis pray to the rising sun. Nitya karma. You need not give it up. In fact, you should not give it up. It should always be there. That's why we don't teach all other Satyanarayana Vratam, etc. We don't teach. We teach only Aditya Hṛdayam. And therefore, that Nitya Karma should be there. And here it is said Agnihotraṃ. It is like Agnihotra only. Agnihotra is a karma in which you offer oblations, two oblations in the fire. What a big deal. The very similar karma you are doing when you stand before the rising sun. You have to stand. You should not do sitting. In the old age also you stand up and do it. Don't do sitting. People become lazy and they worship the laziness. They worship the laziness. In Telugu there is a silly proverb. The proverb is, he is a very lucky person, he need not get up from the sofa. That is the Telugu proverb. How bad a proverb it is. He is the most unlucky person that he doesn't get up from the sofa. Why he need not get up from the sofa? Because he has all servants helping him. That's why. Suppose 3-4 servants help you. A person is there. Rich man, he has one buzzer, he puts it here. And the buzzer he presses. The one servant, secretary comes running. Hey, what do you want? Let him bring my medicine. It is time for medicine pill. And so there is one servant for medicines. So the secretary connects to the medicine guy and he comes running and gives the pill. No surprise, he is a sick man. You should not be like that. You should get up. Even in the old age, you should get up and stand before the sun. What to speak of middle age and youth? Then when sick also you should get up. Morning you should not lie down on the bed when sick. If you are in coma, that is a different matter. If one is in coma, that is a different matter. One is in ICU, that is, you should not go to ICU. These are all not proper things. Why ICU? No ICU. I know a gentleman, great Mahatma, great scholar. I studied 1 or 2 Vedanta texts with him also. His son is in a good job, and this Mahatma became very sick, very old, 85 or 84. Became very sick, and so he was admitted in the hospital. He was not very conscious. He was kind of semi-conscious. And so they took him to the doctor, hospital, and they have taken him as the inpatient. And as the inpatient, they put him in the ICU. and gave medicine and all that. So he stayed in the ICU overnight. Next day morning he woke up. Then he found himself in this ICU. He was semi-conscious earlier evening. And he asked, where am I? They said, you are in ICU. There are all these tubes and other things in the nose, etc. Now what is the time? Morning 6 o'clock, the nurse said. He just got up, sat, removed all the tubes and this and everything he removed and put aside, and he started walking. They tried to hold him. He said, don't hold me. He walked out of the ICU. Then his son, daughter-in-law, they came running. He said, I don't want to stay here. I don't want all those tubes and all that. Take me to home. It is 6 time, morning time. I have to stand before the sun. What are you doing? So he went home, took bath, stood before the sun. He did his prayer and then he died. Died not immediately, the next day or the other day. He said, don't ever take me to ICU. You should be like that. That is the spirit. What ICU? You should not even think. If you think of ICU, then you end up in ICU. Yad bhavam tad bhavati. No ICU for me. I will stand and before the sun. And the aspiration, one should have this aspiration. Whatever happens, happens. Things happen. We do not make things. Things happen. The aspiration you should have. That may happen. Because yad bhavam tad bhavati. The aspiration is, so, ekaksharam brahma. What is that verse in Gita 8th chapter? Omit ekaksharam brahma vyaharan ma manusmaran yaf prayati tyajan deham. Sayati paramangitim. That must be the aspiration. The way I want to leave this body, I want the body to fall. This is the way. How? I will be chanting Om. Om is always chanted with urdhva exhalation. So while chanting Om, the life goes. Means you don't inhale back. Only exhalation, no inhalation. That is the death. And the mind is contemplating upon the Ishvara. Yaharan mamanusmaran. That is how I want to give up this body. Sitting alert. Inhale. Chant Om. Contemplate upon that higher power. The timeless reality, Brahman, Ishvara. And let it die. That is the way I want to die. That should be the aspiration. How people aspire, when I die, my daughter and my son should be my side. What kind of a thing it is? I told you the thought, the me, the small space, mine, that is how people live and that is how they die also. What a misfortune. It should not be like that. This must be the aspiration. I want to die like that. So one can die like that, provided one lives like that. So you do Om every morning, standing before the sun, and offering arghyam if you can. At least standing before the sun and chanting Gayatri every morning. Evening, possible, not possible, but certainly every morning. If you live like that one entire life, then that is how the life will end. Okay? That is how. So one person is dying, and then one Mahatma, the sons and daughters, they brought a Mahatma to bless him. The Mahatma asked, what are you thinking now? Then he said, they are all saying Rama, Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Then he asked, they are all saying Hare Rama, etc. Are you thinking of Rama or not? He said, no, I am not thinking of Rama. Then what are you thinking of? He owns a cotton mill, yarn mill. And so he said, we have ordered cotton from North Carolina and it has come to Visakhapatnam port. From there it has been loaded onto the lorry and it has to come. I am thinking of that cotton consignment. That is what he said. All others are thinking of Rama. But he is thinking of the cotton consignment. Old man. Therefore, the Agnihotra ritual, which is supposed to be performed whole life, yāvajjīvam Agnihotraṃ juhoti. I know one Mahatma. He is morning, it is 7 o'clock. And he was lying down. He was sick and he was lying down. He asked, what is the time? 7 in the morning. I have to do Sandhya Vandanam. Please help me to get up. He cannot even get up. Help me to get up. So they helped him to get up. I want to take bath. Now you cannot take bath. You are very sick. Okay. Put some water upon my head. Okay. Then put bhasma on the face. That is the snanam. Now make me stand before the sun. So they made him stand and he did Gayatri Mantra. And then he lied down. By afternoon he died. In the home, not in the hospital. Therefore, how you live, you can decide. How you die, that also you can decide. And you can make it happen. It all depends upon the power of bhavana. That is called upasana. Bhavana balam. Yam yam smaran bhavam tyajat jante kalevaram tan tameva iti kaunteya sada tadbhava bhavitaha. Gita. So yam yam vapis smaran bhavam. Therefore, the ritual that I am performing is the expression of that power which is God. I am not the doer. There is only karma. There is no karta. And then the karma phala is also Ishvara. Karma phala is gaining Ishvara. Karma is performed by Ishvara through this medium. And karma phala is the gain of Ishvara. So, ēša chaivāgnihotraṃ phalaṃ chaivāgnihotriṇām. So, phalam also. Brahmaiva tena gantavyam. That is the phalam. That's why you should not divide karma and karma phalam. Mimamsakas divided karma and karma phalam. So who gives karma phalam? Karma gives karma phalam. Okay. Then it occurred to them, if karma gives karma phalam, then you don't need a God. What do you lose if you need if you put a, I asked my father, why, what is your problem? What is the problem of this Mimamsakas? They can have God also. And karma gives karma phalam. He said, no, it doesn't work like that. Because if you put God also, then his focus will be on the God. It will not be on the karma. Therefore, karma will suffer. That is what all these devotees do. They say, Venkateswara Swami, Govinda, Govinda, and he won't do any karma. He will say Govinda. Govinda, Govinda. Are Govinda ke baat, saying Govinda, nothing will happen. You have to do your karma. That is the Mimamsakas. Therefore, what they said, dismiss this Govinda thing. There is no Govinda. Only karma is there. That is what they have said. There is a point in what they say. Because if you put karma and also God, then the focus will be on karma. It will not be so much on karma as it is on God. Therefore, they said there is no God, there is only karma. Now what we are saying, there is only God, there is no karma. Even karma is an expression of God's power. And karma phala is also an expression of God's power. Phalaṃ chaivāgnihotraṃ. Therefore, don't create this distance between karma and karma phalam. Karma is Bhagavan. Karma phalam is also Bhagavan. Okay? Suppose you do a job and suppose you do a job well. Don't you become happy? And happiness is the phalam. And that happiness is in karma, not in karma phala. In karma phala, there will be no happiness. Suppose you finished a job well, and there is happiness. They gave bonus to you after a month. Now, where is the karma phala? Happiness, where is it? Is it in the bonus or is it in the karma? The one who thinks that the happiness is in bonus is a samsari. He will be caught. The one who knows that the happiness is not in the bonus, happiness is in the karma, he knows the truth. Karmaṇyevādhikāraste mā phaleshu kadāchana. Therefore, that is a beautiful message. The ritual, the most important ritual, Nitya Karma, which is performed by the devotee, is indeed an expression of God's power in the body-mind. And the phalam is also God's power only. ēvāgnihōtraṃ phalaṃ chaivāgnihotriṇām. You see, why do you feel separate from Brahma? The Shruti says Tattvamasi. Why? What is your problem in understanding? The problem is alpatva buddhi in oneself and parokshatva buddhi in God. God is distant, away, not to be known. And I am sinful, limited person. So this is called the limitation superimposed upon oneself. I am a very limited, small, I am a sinner. How sinner can be God? Sinner cannot be God, you know. I am a sinner. And what is God? God is in Vaikuntha, away somewhere. Therefore, as long as these two ideas people hold on to, so long they can never appreciate the oneness with Brahman. Because the sinner buddhi in oneself and the distant buddhi, away buddhi in God creates a division. Now you are not the sinner, you are the God is shining in your heart, and you are not the sinner. You are not the sinner. You are the witnessing awareness in which there is no punyam, there is no papam. That is what you are. And God is not in Vaikuntha, unless you say Vaikuntha is the heart. Therefore, dismiss both. The parokshatva buddhi you dismiss from God, the sinner buddhi you dismiss from yourself. Then you realize the oneness with God, the divinity in yourself. That is the way you should proceed. This verse reminds a very similar verse in Kathopanishad. Esha suptēṣu jāgarti kāmam kāmam purusho nirmimānaha tadeva shukram tad brahma tadevāmrutam uchyate. The context is very interesting. Nachiketa asks Yamadharmaraja, tell me where is God, what is God? Then Yamadharmaraja says, when the person goes to sleep, what remains awake in the sleeping person? That is God. Etad. Indeed, what God you are asking about is this only. So what remains awake in the person when the person sleeps? When the person sleeps means you have to understand it correctly. The thought is no more, and therefore the space created by thought. Thought creates a space. Space is not physical space, that inner space. And the name of that space is me and mine. And it is time-bound, the historic self. So that space, the time-bound space, the space in the form of me and mine, that space separates you from the God. And when you go to deep sleep, that space vanishes or merges in the God within. And therefore there is no separation from the God. You do not experience the separation in deep sleep. So that deep sleep, so what is keeping awake in deep sleep? That is Brahman. Esha suptēṣu jāgarti. Etad Brahma shukram. That is pure, free from sin and virtue. Amrutam, it is immortal, free from birth and death. That is the Brahma. And you see, the word Agnihotra is of two kinds. One is you keep a altar of fire and take clarified butter and offer in the fire with a mantra, Agnaya Swaha, etc. That is a Agnihotra, which is physical ritual. There is another Agnihotra, and that is the Paramatma is in this body mind, in the heart, making eyes see, ears hear, hands hold, legs walk. Everything is being done by that Paramatma in this body mind. And my prostration unto that Paramatma, that Upasana is the Agnihotra. Because Upasana is also Kriya. Therefore, here it is Upasana. Therefore, that Bhavana is the Agnihotra here. And actually offering oblation in the fire is also karma. But here it is not physical karma. And here it is mental action. And that is the bhavana, upasana. Then what is the phalam? Phalam is always happiness. Phalam is happiness. These people forget. You see, once I was, nowadays I am not addressing these kind of conventions and all that. At one time I was doing. There was a business school in Hyderabad. It is called Shivani Business School or whatever. And they asked me to give a lecture to their staff. I said, only staff I will address. I will not address the students. Because the students are very unruly. The college students, you cannot address them. They will be talking among themselves, the boys and girls. They don't pay any attention and they don't listen properly. I said, only staff. They said, yes. I went. And the staff came. And then the students came and sat. Now you cannot drive them away. I said, please keep quiet. Don't talk in between. They said like that. But they did not do that. They continued to talk in between. And I told her, you are making a mistake. You don't listen to a lecture properly. What are you doing? What kind of a student you are? I took a class to them. Now for me, what is there? I don't fear. What is there? So by the way, in that business management school, I put a proposal. So they say Black Friday, black line is profit, red line is loss. Okay. What is the phalam for business? That is the question. Phalam, result. Okay. The answer is phalam for the business is karma. You know, karma and karma phala. We apply Gita to business. Business is karma and karma phala is profit. That is what they said. Wrong. Karma phala can never be profit or loss. Karma phala can only be sukha or dukkha. Okay. Suppose profit makes you sukha, sukhi, then profit becomes karma phala indirectly, not directly. Loss makes you dukhi, then loss becomes karma phala indirectly, not directly. Okay, you got the point? Now I ask the question. Suppose you do business, make a lot of money and still remain unhappy. Then what is the karma phala now? Dukkha. And karma, business. So business gives profit and makes the people unhappy. Okay. Suppose somebody lost. Okay, next year we will gain. This is Ishvara's will. And he accepts the loss and remains happy. Then, therefore, I put a proposal in the business school. Karma is business. Karma phalam is never profit or loss. That is not karma phalam. Then what is it? It is part and parcel of the business only. When you do business, you get profit. That is also part of the business. When you do business, you lose. That is also part of the business. Karma phalam can only be sukha or dukkha. So here the upasana is the karma and upasana phalam is ananda or sukha. That is Brahma. Phalam also Brahma. Phalaṃ chaivāgniho that ananda, which is the phala, is also Brahma. Did you notice I have put break today? I have applied brakes. Did you notice that? Because I wanted to, because otherwise it will be over in another 2 days. So put a brake. So that is what is done. Now I finished that verse, okay? Now let us go to the, so here it is written, there is an Agnihotra outside where you offer oblation. That Agnihotra is the Aditya only, sun only, and there is an Agnihotra inside, Bhavana, and that is also the sun. Let us say the verse. Esha suptēṣu jāgarti bhūtēṣu pariniṣṭhitaḥ esha chaivāgniḥōtraṃ phalaṃ chaivāgniḥōtriṇām ēvāścha kratavaśchaiva kratūnāṃ phalamēva yāni kṛtyāni lōkēṣu sarveshu paramah prabhuḥ. This verse is an echo of that Brahmarpanam verse. Brahmarpanam Brahma Havihi. I am reminding you one more time. Brahmagnau Brahmanahutam Brahmaiva tena gantavyam. This is called Brahmakarma Samadhi. Brahmakarma Samadhina. Brahmakarma Samadhi is a single word. So the altar in which you offer oblation is Brahma. Okay? And the oblation to which Devata you are offering, the Devata, that is also Brahma. Okay? And the one who is offering is Brahma. And the material that you are offering is Brahma. And the phalam, which is Ananda or Sukha, that is also Brahma. That is what it says. That is what this verse says. Paramah Prabhuhu, the Supreme Lord. Who is the Supreme Lord of the earth? Of the life form on the earth, who is the Supreme Lord? The sun. And that sun is in the form of Devata. When you have a ritual, there must be a Devata for the ritual. The fourth Karaka it is. The sun is the Devata. If you worship a number of Devatas, which you can do, Prithvi Devata, Vayur Devata, Agnir Devata, all forces of nature are the Devatas. And all these Devatas are indeed manifest forms of the same Hiranyagarbha. Okay? And the karma itself is the manifest form of Hiranyagarbha. ēvāścha kratavaśchaiva. So this verse we will explain tomorrow. But this verse, you please remember this much. It is an echo of that Brahmarpanam. Then here is one verse, one question you see. Sometimes there is a critique of Dvaita and Vishishtadvaita philosophies. Okay? Humanism seems to be a phenomenon in the last 1,000+ years. Humanism means you convert the God into a human form. That is humanism. So gods are all human beings, male and female. How do you decide which is male, which is female? Look at the word. Sanskrit, you know. Look at the word. In the language, the words are Pumlinga, Strilinga, and Napumsakalinga. Who knows that? Grammarians know that. In fact, Vayakaranas are called Laingikaha. They are experts in deciding which linga is what. Ramaha, Pumlinga. Shaktihi, Strilinga. Okay? You see, suppose you say Harihi, Harihi, Pumlinga. Matihi, Strilinga. Who knows? Vyakarana knows. Okay? Therefore, there is a linga associated with the word. In fact, Pratipadika itself has linga. That's why in Shabdamanjari, when you read the Shabdas, it starts as Akaranta Pumlingo Rama Shabdaha, Ramudu. So it tells the word, syllable with which the Shabda ends, Rama, ends with A. And a linga, Pumlingo. The Pratipadika, the stem word, Rama, meaning Ramudu, Mr. Rama. This is the job of the Vayakaranas. Therefore, they tell you which word belongs to which linga. And so the word is Pullinga, and you personify, it becomes man. The word is Strilinga, personify, it becomes woman. This is called humanization. Now you tell me, suppose Agnihi, is it man or woman? Man. Okay? Because Agnihi Pullinga. Vayuhu, man or woman? Man, because Vayuhu Pullinga. Okay? Lakshmihi, wealth. Strilinga, therefore a woman. Okay? So in Veda, Jnanam is Pullinga, Saraswan. But if you make a goddess of knowledge, Saraswati, humanization is like that. I ask you, Parjanyaha, rain-bearing cloud, Parjanyaha, man or woman? Man. Vidyut, woman. Why Vidyut woman? Because in Sanskrit language, Vidyut is Strilinga Shabda. That's why Vidyut is woman. You got the point? Therefore, there is humanization in the last 1,000 years. God is converted to human being. It is not there before that. Also, the provisional aspect of Dvaitam in Vedantic Upasana is either not mentioned or ignored, forgotten, as we just say God is the creator. Generally, in the context of Upasana, they won't say. In the context of Upasana, they focus on the small division between the Jiva and Ishvara. That is how Upasana works, you know. The person takes himself to be a limited being. Therefore, Upasana is Upasana. Areyappa, stand before the sun and worship. That is the advice given. So, if you go deeper into it, they will tell Tattvamasi. But otherwise, in the context of Upasana, the oneness is not mentioned prominently. The division is also not highlighted. Division is taken for granted. The Upasana is presented. Keeping aside the extravagant humanism aspect of Dvaita and other philosophies, and the provisional aspect of Dvaita in Vedantic Upasana, what is the real difference between Vedantic Upasana and Dvaita Vishishtadvaita philosophy? You have answered the question yourself. In Vedantic Upasana, the division is provisional, to be negated soon. Whereas in Dvaita Vishishtadvaita philosophies, the division is permanent. That is the difference. Highlighting may not be there. Highlighting will not be there. In the Upasana, highlight is Ishvara only. Highlight Ishvara only. You don't talk of non-difference. You don't talk of difference also. You just highlight Ishvara. You are a limited being. Worship Ishvara. Like that only it goes. Okay? And the fundamental difference is, in the Dvaita Upasanas, the division is permanent. And in Advaita, in Vedantic Upasana, the division is provisional. And only provisional, because you feel a sense of limitation, you do this Upasana. And no, I do not feel any sense of limitation. Even then you can do the Upasana, because there is a joy in that Upasana. Like that.